Hello everyone and welcome back to Icebane Gaming. Today I have something a little different. I'm trying live action. Hello. Hello, it's me. I just waved off camera. I've been wanting to make a video like this for a while. While my channel has gaming in the name, it's not entirely about gaming. It's about whatever I want it to be. It's variety content. Now, this might be a very weird camera angle, but it's because I have this bad boy right here on my art table. And as you can see here, I got 3 of these. These are for pre-release boxes in Magic the Gathering Arena. I will be going through them periodically and randomly through the video, so keep an eye out. You could get 6 packs for free in Arena for each of these flips if it hasn't been claimed already. And what do I have for the video? I have this bundle. It's got looks like 8 packs in it and some foils. I have it mostly to store the other cards that I'm going to be going through today, but may as well open the packs in there as well. We also have 2 pre-release boxes to go through because in this episode I'm going to be questioning, are pre-release boxes better than opening other packs, just random packs? But what we're looking at is the mythic pull rate, because I've always been told that they seed more mythics in the pre-releases than they do in the regular packs, which tells me that I should get a fair amount of mythics. Now, you might be noticing this is opened. Why is it opened? Well, this right here. These cards, I wanted to pull them out. Why do I have 3? I opened one of these a while ago before I had the idea. And I wanted to make a video after I had gone through all the cards in that box. I might even include that box in the final calculations, but I would need to just show it as is, say, hey, I got these in this box. Since I'm not actually opening any packs in that box, all the packs have been opened. It's just going to be showing what I got in that. I haven't organized any ELDRANE yet because, well, that's what I got this box for, so that I could easily organize my ELDRANE, my Wilds of ELDRANE, into a separate box. Other things to note, I have a collection on a chair behind me. You can't see it. It's off camera anyways. Actually, kind of see it here. I plan on making a video about that soon to see what I got. I only got 1 mythic in that collection. They obviously had their mythics elsewhere, but it still is something I'd like to go through, see what all I got. It's about 7,000 cards, and that's from my count. They thought it was like they thought it was 500, and I was like, excuse me, that's more than 500 right there. That's like 40 pounds of cards there. And I also have a bulk box down below my desk that I plan on opening at some point, that I got just at my local card shop, my local game store, and we'll see what that is together. Enough of me rambling. I don't know how much of this I'm cutting out. Anyways, so first, Wilds of ELDRANE. Let's just crack this bad boy open. See, nice little pre-release box. They started making pre-release boxes with like tokens to pop out, and you could use those during the tournament. And yeah, ooh, blue. I don't think I had a black and blue die. Oh, oh, it's flawed. Anyways, a die. Almost fell off my desk. And it's a spin down for the Wilds of ELDRANE set. And we got all those packs. Anything else in here? We got how to play. We don't need that. Alright, place that box off to the side. And what we're here for. Not me bumping the mic. That's what. Let's see. Got a nice little card divider. I already had this one from the other box, but I'm alright with that. And our promo is Will, Scion of Peace. That is our first mythic tonight. He's got Vigilance, and he could tap, and spells you cast this turn that are white or blue cost X less to cast, where X is the amount of life you gained this turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Will seems to be quite a strong card. Yeah. In a life gain white and blue, which is tax colors, I could see that coming as pretty good. That's our first mythic of the night. I'll set that bad boy aside. And our first pack. Alright. Let's rip into this bad boy. Keep it away from getting off camera, so that way we don't have any issues with it. And alright. We got another On an Adventure token. Place that to the side. And we got Johan, Stopgap, Water Wings, commons. Let's just go through all the commons till we hit an uncommon, and there we go. Commons, get those out of the way. Tangle, Span, Lookouts. Whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Take a look at that bad boy. I like the art. Not what I expect for a satyr, but pretty nice nonetheless. Then we got Ash, the Party Crasher. I believe I covered her in Arena because I pulled her quite a lot, and I thought her name was funny. Yeah, you put a +1/+1 counter on her whenever she attacks if you gain one or more non-land permanents that turn. This incentivizes playing things in your pre-combat main phase, which in generally speaking, the more strategic thinking, you want to do most of your spells in your post-combat main phase, but I say that as if I'm good at the game. I'm not the best at the game. I like playing the game, but I get beat quite often, if I'm brutally honest. What's after Ash? Dutiful Griffin. You could sacrifice 2 enchantments to return it from your graveyard to your hand. Not the best card out there. There are plenty of other Griffins that do way better. And then we have our rare, Lord Skitter. Nice. I like Lord Skitter. He's a rat king that isn't one of those disgusting rat kings. Let's see. Whenever another rat enters the battlefield under your control, exile up to 1 target creature from an opponent's graveyard. Ooh, grave hate on rats. Anything that has to do with another rat entering the battlefield is really good in mono black rats. Since he doesn't have red in his mana cost, pretty good card. And also at the beginning of your combat, you create a 1/1 rat token. I could see that we got a special art. What's our special art? We got Grasp of Fate. It's essentially just an exile card, one of many. However, it hits all opponents and not just a single permanent, but it only hits 1 permanent per opponent. Very good in Commander, not so much in Standard format. Then we got our lands. Alright. The reason why I leave this here is because, well, there's a chance that it'll beat a land, there's a chance it won't be. I could place that to the side for now. So currently, our haul is... let's place this here. 1 mythic. 4 uncommons. And 1 rare. Alright. Let's open another pack. Okay. Let's see what's in this bad boy. This one opened real easy. I like that. hot new reprints of all your Deckmaster cards. Alright. Ooh, it's an elemental token. It's a pretty nice elemental. Look at that art. I have plenty of elemental tokens, but I don't think I had a white and blue one. At least not one from this set. Alright. And I could tell that that's not basic land. I was just going to remove it if it was. Common, 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 and uncommon. Alright. So, we got a Tempest Heart. It is a green and blue mana type creature with adventure. It draws you cards and discards cards. Essentially just a way to search the top of your deck. If you're playing a graveyard deck, which is in this color format, you just need to add black. That is always a pretty good ability. His actual ability, whenever you cast a spell with mana value of 5 or greater, put a 1/1 counter on him. That, not so great. He's a 3/4 for 4 with trample though, so I guess it's an alright card. We also got Welcome to Sweet Tooth, a saga. Create a 1/1 white human creature token, create a food token, and put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is 1 plus the number of foods you control. I could see this going well in a food token deck with a lot of multiply cards. You just get one really big creature. Maybe you could go with like all the food creatures as well. What's this? Multicolored thing. Just 1 second. Rub it in my eye. Alright. Get my eye oils all over this card. Alright. And we got Totentans. I had a hard time saying this name a lot in my arena video. He is good for a black and red rat deck. Whenever he or another non-token creature you control dies, you create a 1/1 black rat creature token with this creature can't block. And you could also give your rats Death Touch. Pretty good if you're playing red and black rats, but as I mentioned earlier, usually you want to do mono black rats. A lot better stuff you could do, a lot more reliable. And we got our rare Extraordinary Journey. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to X target creatures. For each of those cards, its owner may play it as long as it remains exiled. Whenever one or more non-token creatures enter the battlefield, if one or more of them entered from exile, that was cast from exile, you draw a card. This ability only triggers once per turn. This goes good with adventure cards. I could see why Extraordinary Journey would be the name, because you play adventure cards from your exile, but there's a lot of cards that allow you to play from exile. Foretell, for example. Yeah, pretty good. Not something that I would play that much personally, because I don't really do much with changing board locations that much. I might make an adventure deck at some point. I just don't know yet. I see that we got a blue special art, and it is Intruder Alarms, a second rare. I like this card. I have it, a really old copy of it. It was in my tax deck. This art I would probably prefer to put in my tax deck because I like special art. I forget what they called this type of special art, but whatever. I call it special art. Sue me. Creatures don't untap during their controller's untap step, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield, untap all creatures. And then we got a special land. Ooh, look at this swamp.
Nice.
That's a beautiful swamp. Alright. I'll place this in a separate pile for lands. That is 2 packs in. Let's open another one. Oh boy. Hold on. No, I was just checking to see if that QR code I was going to give away packs. I want to seed those every now and then in the video. Speaking of, hey, take a look at this. If you want to claim 6 packs, do that bad boy. That is now out of the picture. And I will slip that underneath. And yeah, what token is this? It's a night token. Ooh, look at that art. Pretty cool art. All right. And is it a basic land? It is. It's just a mountain. All right. Really pushing for a black and red rat deck. All right, get rid of these commons, these normies, get them out of here. All right, ego drain. All right, target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an online card from it. That player discards a card. If you don't control a fairy, exile a card from your hand. All right, it's essentially a weaker duress, I think it is, because you have to have a fairy to make it work at its best. I guess if you're playing a Blight Blossom, then you'd always have a fairy, but also this wouldn't be cast on your first turn if you did that. But yeah, pretty interesting. Hearth Elemental. It has adventure. You could discard your hand and draw 2 cards. Good if you have an empty hand. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard that are instant or sorcery cards and or have adventure. Alright, so it's a 6-drop 4/5 with no actual special abilities. Not the best. Alright. Ooh, I saw a way out of foil. Oops. Anyways, get rid of that. Then we have a Picnic Ruiner. It is a red and green card with adventure. It distributes +1/+1 counters, and whenever it attacks, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, Picnic Ruiner gains double strike until the end of turn. It's a 2-drop 2/2, and it's a goblin. I could see that being good in a red and green goblins. However, if you're doing goblins, normally it's mono red. But yeah. Oh boy, we got a dupe. We got our second mythic, and it is the same as the one that we got to begin with, except it's not a foil or a promo. So we got Will, Scion of Peace, another pretty good pull. Our second mythic. And then, well, I mean, hey, he is if you like him. Then we got Garruk's Uprising. When it enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Creatures you control have trample, and whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. It's pretty good. It's pretty good for a big creature Garruk type deck, so black and green are the color format that you would see Garruk played in. It's also good in mono green or anything where you want creatures to have trample, because if you have big creatures, every creature having trample, always pretty good. It's generally speaking worth the 3 mana cost. Good card indeed. And we got another uncommon. This is a good pack. A foiled Tenacious Tome Seeker. It has Bargain, which means you could sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token to when you cast it. And when it enters the battlefield, if it was bargained, return target creature or instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Nice way to bounce spells. If you're playing a token deck, it's pretty easy to get all those. Yeah. Pretty nice foiling, I'd say. You don't always see the best foiling, depending on what you get. You know, Magic has been what it has been for the past couple years. It's gone down in quality for the amount of money that you're spending for the cards. It's better to buy singles, obviously. This is mostly just for fun and to flesh out my collection a little bit. But yeah, experiments, whatnot. This pack feels dense. It feels like I got more cards than were intended. And we got a monster and sorcerer roll token. Nice. This is like the old flip cards, like back in, I forget the name of the set. I always forget the name of the set. But I had a rat from back in like the early 2000s when they were first experimenting with cards that change what they do. And the rat had like a basic ninja form up here and then a samurai form down here. And like you'd switch it and it just go like that. But I mean, that's not what this is. This is a roll token, but just a fun little bit of history. Anyways, commons, let's get rid of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 commons. And how many cards do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we got 1 special art and a land or a foil. And 3 commons, obviously, and a rare or a mythic. Let's see. Soul Lantern. It's standard grave hate, nothing special. We got The Prince Takes Flight, a saga. Exile up to 1 target creature. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains flying until the end of turn. And return the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's a 3-drop blink. However, the blink lasts 2 turns to get back. That's not the best, considering white and blue have some of the best blinking cards. Let's move on to the next one. We got Twisted Sewer Witch. When she enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black rat creature token. Then for each rat you control, create a wicked roll attached to the rat. Nice. That essentially gives it +1/+1 and makes it so that when it dies, an opponent loses a life. Or well, each opponent loses a life. You could read it down there as well, I suppose. But yeah, uncommon. And then we got our rare for the pack. Elusive Otter. I love the art for this guy. But that's also because I like otters. Not as much as I like foxes, but otters are a pretty cool creature. It's got Grove's Bounty, which gives a bunch of +1/+1 counters to any number of target creatures you control. And you could just give 1 to a bunch of them, have Growing Season or whatever, a bunch of those on there so that it doubles. And then you proliferate. Blue is pretty good for proliferate. This thing has prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 till the end of turn. Prowess, not the best. Creatures with power less than Elusive Otter's power can't block it. So if you grow this boy pretty big, he becomes unblockable. That's pretty good. 1/1 for 1 with a pretty good starting ability. This card, pretty good. Pretty good. And then we got Utopia Sprawl. Nice. It essentially turns a mana into, well, it turns a forest specifically. Whenever you tap it, you add another mana of any color. So it turns a land into 2 land for 1. It's an alright ability. Only enchants forests though. I suppose if you're playing mono green, that's alright. If it's a turn 1 drop, pretty good. Otherwise, it's just mana ramp, standard green. I can see why it's uncommon. And then we got a special art land. Look at this. Look at these mine tracks. Look at this mountain. Nice. I'll put that in my special land pile. It really was pushing for me to do a black and red rat deck. I could see that because these pre-release boxes, usually they're seeded in a way that makes it more fun to play. While I do have 2 white and blue mythics, it's really pushing for red and black. Let's open yet another pack here. Sorry, I moved it off for a second. I didn't really do anything with it. We got a bird token. Nice. Get rid of these commons. All right. Frolicking Familiar. It's got Blow Up Steam as its adventure. It's in the red and blue format. The Is It colors. Always strong. No matter what you do, red and blue go together. Like PB and J. Blow Off Steam does 1 damage to any target. That's a really weak ping. But if you want to ping something, I suppose it's alright. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Frolicking Familiar gets +1/+1 till the end of turn. And it's a 2/2 flyer for 3. There are better ones in Izet colors that do the same thing, but better. And usually are cheaper a little bit. This card, meh. Other cards I'd rather do. Tough Cookie. Now that's one tough cookie right there. When it enters the battlefield, create a food token. And target non-creature artifact you control becomes a 4/4 until the end of turn. That is for 3 mana. You see a lot of blue enchantments that do this, but they're permanent, and usually they only cost 1 mana, which, I mean, Living Artifact, for example, always a strong card. Let's see. Sacrifice Tough Cookie, you gain 3 life. So he is a food himself. He's a food golem. Look at that guy. Run as fast as you can. He'll catch you. He's the gingerbread man. Gallant Pie Wielder. It's got First Strike and Celebration, and its Celebration ability gives it double strike as long as 2 or more non-land permanents entered the battlefield this turn. It's a 3-drop 2/3. There are 2/3s with double strike already. Double strike renders First Strike useless, so I mean, a 2/3 First Strike normally, that's alright. But, there are plenty of things that I'd rather have than this. Uncommon. And we got another mythic. Agatha of the Vile Cauldron. Activate abilities of creatures you control. Cost X less to activate, where X is Agatha of the Vile Cauldron's power. This effect can't reduce mana, and that costs any less than 1 mana. Other creatures you control get +1/+1 and trample and haste until the end of turn for 6 mana. For a 2-drop 1/1 Agatha, you're pretty good. I might be pushing for a black, green, and red deck for the overall thing. So out of the 6 packs, well, 5 that we've opened so far, we've gotten 2 mythics. Already these odds are pretty high in our favor. Ridiculously so. And we have 3 more